Thank you, Marathon, for taking the time to review our MIS 4800 final project regarding whether you should implement Bring Your Own Device into your company. We will now start by introducing ourselves. I'm Ashlyn Snyder.
I'm Austin Wright.
I'm Brian Bussey.
And I'm Nick Gelati.
Following our research, we found that implementing a BYOD policy is the most beneficial for Marathon. The following key statistics have provided clarity as to why we believe this. According to a study done by Syntonic, they found that 87% of companies have employees use their personal devices to access business apps. In the same study, they also found that 60% of companies as of 2016 already implement a BYOD policy. Over the past several years, the number of companies that implement BYOD have increased exponentially. And for those companies who implement a BYOD policy, they found that security is the number one reason to implement it.
The major benefits for BYOD is that it will ultimately save Marathon money. A Forbes article states that companies favoring a BYOD policy make annual savings of $350 per year per employee. More Marathon-specific savings will be discussed later in our cost-benefit analysis. Secondly, implementing this policy will boost productivity. A study done by Forrest and Sullivan states that using portable devices for work tasks saves employees 58 minutes per day while increasing productivity by 34%. This productivity boost is also due to engagement with the device after hours. Some other pros include employees using a single device, increase in employee satisfaction, and employee familiarity with the devices. One of the largest concerns with BYOD is the increased security threat that it could pose to an organization. A recent study by HP found that 86% of mobile applications do not use basic protections against modern-day cyber attacks. Other cons related to security of BYOD could be the lack of IT departmental controls and that one bad device could impact the entire company. The majority of these risks can be mitigated through proper use and deployment of a mobile device management application, which we will discuss later in the presentation. I will now have Austin talk to you about our business case.
To aid the decision-making process, we created a business case to gain insight into the benefits Marathon could observe from switching to BYOD. Some of these benefits will have a direct financial impact, while others will simply be observable in nature. One of the new things a BYOD policy would allow Marathon to do would be to allow users to use their device operating system of choice, be it iOS, Android, or Windows. Studies show that users feel more comfortable and productive when they are using a device that they are most familiar with. Financially, Marathon would be able to do better in terms of their IT management costs and could observe benefits in the quality of applicants they attract, employee satisfaction, communication, and virtual work done. Implementing a BYOD policy would allow Marathon to stop paying device costs, and they could also eliminate the dummy use of business devices.
Thanks, Austin. I'll now discuss how we went about our MDM selection process and how we picked what we believe the best MDM software is for this company. The different aspects that we were looking into was one, whether or not the MDM software had email capability as well as remote access, whether the company had an emphasis on security and allowed for asset management. We also looked at multiple operating systems, ensuring that it had no open source, no VPN, and had an extreme ease of use. And lastly, we looked at the different costs of these different softwares. The 5 softwares that we dug deeper into was Microsoft Intune, IBM MAS 360, VMware AirWatch, Cisco Meraki, and Jamf. As you can see from our findings, Microsoft Intune checked all of our boxes. While the cost per user per month is higher than the other solutions, we believe that the extra cost was worth the added benefits. Therefore, the MDM solution that we selected for Marathon was Microsoft Intune. Some more information on why Microsoft Intune is first, it supports all mobile platforms. This includes Windows, Mac OS, iOS, and Android. It also has key customers of Accenture, Cadence, and also BP, which is one of Marathon's main competitors. They also manage employees' mobile devices, applications, and PCs that access company data. They protect company data and information by controlling the way it is accessed and shared. And lastly, It safeguards devices by ensuring they meet your company's security requirements. As mentioned before, one of Marathon's main competitors, BP or British Petroleum, has recently implemented Microsoft Intune to improve user experience and security. They have an organizational size of 74,000 as compared to Marathon's 43,000 employees. BP has also deployed Azure AD, Office 365, and Microsoft Intune into their organization. A quote by their Group Chief Information Officer, Simon Hodgkinson, states, "If you make security hard, people may work around it. With Microsoft 365, we get native capabilities, visibility into our operational environment, and simplicity for all employees." This testimony validates that this solution does work within our industry. I'll now pass it back to Austin to discuss Microsoft Intune use cases.
Enrolling an iOS device with Microsoft Intune can be done by either the user or IT support. Enrolling a device allows it to be managed by the organization so they can assign policies to the device and applications so that it can access company information securely. You might be wondering, if a device has been enrolled, what can the IT administrator see and not see? They will not be able to view call or web history, location, emails or text, contacts, passwords, calendars, and your camera roll. They will be able to see basic phone information like model, serial number, operating system, app names, owner, and device name. To enroll a device, begin by downloading the Intune Company Portal application. Next, the user should sign in using their corporate credentials and then select Begin on the Setup Access screen. When the user has read through the instructions on the next page, select Continue, and Safari will open the company portal and begin to download the configuration profile. If your device is running iOS 12.2, you will need to select Allow to begin this process. Next, the user should install the management profile through the phone settings. Once the management profile has installed, navigate back to the company portal app, and the Intune will begin to sync and set up your device. For a user to access their email via a Microsoft Intune managed iOS device, the use case is as follows. They would first begin by launching the native email application. Then they would select to log into their Microsoft Exchange account. From here, the user will input their corporate credentials and then be redirected to the company page to again sign in with the same credentials. The user has now successfully logged into and should now be able to access corporate email on their device. Now I'm going to pass it over to Nick to discuss the cost-benefit analysis.
For cost-saving benefit analysis, the cost of phone plans is roughly $55 million per year if it's BYOD or if Marathon is providing the devices. However, the cost of providing phones to the employees would be $0 with BYOD and $32 million with providing new iPhone XRs. This number can even be more when employees lose or break these devices. The software support cost with Microsoft Intune would roughly be $7 million a year, while the current solution, XN Mobile, runs about $2 million. Bringing the total cost to roughly $60 million for BYOD and $90 million for providing devices to employees. This is resulting in a $27 million savings. This savings can even be higher when you consider the benefits that cannot be financially measured. The average cost of a data breach is roughly $3 million, while the average cost of a data breach within the United States runs about $7 million. The average cost per record stolen is roughly $148. If you multiply this by the 43,800 employees that Marathon has, the potential data breach would run about $6 million. If you add this to the cost savings analysis, BYOD would still be saving roughly $20 million. Some other issues that potential data breach can have on a company are damage of business credit, risk of reputation, client and customers' impact. We hope that you've seen both the financial and observable benefits that implementing BYOD could have for Marathon, and we thank you for the time and consideration. Please feel free to reach out to us if you have any further questions.